Have you ever wondered who holds the title of the tallest person in the history of mankind? How about the tallest living person today? Well, you're in luck, because in this video, we'll dive deep into the world of giants and explore some of the tallest people ever to walk the planet. I'm talking about people who stand at staggering heights of more than 7 feet. From the second tallest living person on Earth to one of the tallest athletes of our time, here are 20 real-life giants that exist today. Number 20. Second tallest living person on Earth. Brahim Taqiyullah was born in Morocco in 1982, and his height has brought him both challenges and fame. So how tall is Brahim exactly? Well, he stands at a staggering height of 8 feet 1 inch. It's safe to say that Brahim's height has made him stand out in a crowd, literally and figuratively. The Guinness Book of World Records has even recognized Brahim as the world's second tallest living person as of the present. Brahim's staggering height is due to a medical condition called acromegaly, a condition caused by an excess of growth hormone in the body. This predisposition led to many complications in Brahim's life, such as difficulty finding clothes that fit and struggling to perform everyday tasks that we average folks take for granted. However, Brahim has remained positive and has used his unique height to raise awareness about acromegaly and to inspire others to embrace their differences. One of the biggest challenges Brahim has faced due to his height is finding shoes that fit. He wears a size 58 shoe, which is custom made for him by a German shoemaker. Imagine how big that is. Brahim has also faced challenges when traveling, as he cannot fit comfortably in most cars and planes. Imagine having to fit in a tiny seat with little to no legroom. Despite the challenges, Brahim has also enjoyed many unique experiences due to his height. For example, he's been invited to various events and TV shows, where he's been able to share his story and raise awareness about acromegaly. Before we go on, like this video, smash the subscribe button, and click the notification bell right now. Number 19. 7'11" giant. If you haven't heard of him before, Jun Kai is a Chinese man who stands at an astounding height of 7 feet 11 inches. Just to put that into perspective, the average height for a man in China is around 5 feet 7 inches. People who are 6 feet are already considered tall in East and Southern Asian countries. And of course, 7-foot-tall people are considered giants. It's incredibly easy to spot Jun Kai in the crowd. This man is significantly taller than most people in his country, or even in the world for that matter. Even in Europe, where the average height is considerably taller, Jun Kai can still be considered a giant. Jun Kai's height has led him to be something of a celebrity in China, and he's even appeared on TV shows and in documentaries talking about his experiences. But it hasn't always been easy for him. Growing up, he faced a lot of challenges because of his height. He had trouble finding clothes and shoes that fit, and sometimes people would stare at him or make fun of him. Jun Kai isn't the tallest person in history. That title belongs to Robert Wadlow, who was 8 feet 11 inches tall. But he's certainly up there. And while it's not always easy being so tall, Jun Kai has used his unique stature to his advantage and has inspired others who might feel different or out of place. Number 18. One of the tallest actors. Matthew McGrory was an American actor and performer known for his towering height and distinctive appearance. He was born on May 17, 1973 in Westchester, Pennsylvania, and grew up in a family of average height. However, from a young age, McGrory started experiencing abnormal growth, which led to him being diagnosed with gigantism, a rare condition that causes excessive growth. Despite his physical condition, McGrory was determined to pursue his dreams of becoming an actor. He graduated from Widener University with a degree in criminal justice and psychology, but his real passion was always for the entertainment industry. He started his career as a performer by participating in many circus acts, and soon caught the attention of Hollywood producers looking for someone with his unique physique. Tragically, McGrory's life was cut short when he passed away at the young age of 32 in 2005. The cause of death was heart failure, a common complication of gigantism. Number 17. Basketball superstar. Have you ever heard of Yao Ming? If you're into basketball, you must have heard about him. He's one of the tallest people on Earth, standing at a towering height of 7 feet 6 inches. That's right, you read that correctly, 7 feet 6 inches. Yao was born on September 12, 1980 in Shanghai, China. He was already tall for his age, standing at 6 feet 6 inches by the time he was 13 years old. His parents were basketball players, so it was no surprise that Yao inherited their love of the sport. He began playing basketball at a young age and quickly became a star player in China. In 2002, Yao was drafted into the National Basketball Association by the Houston Rockets. He quickly made a name for himself in the league, becoming one of the most dominant centers in the game. His height gave him a significant advantage on the court, allowing him to block shots, grab rebounds, and score points with ease. But Yao wasn't just a talented basketball player. He was also a cultural ambassador. He helped bridge the gap between China and the United States, bringing attention to the sport of basketball in China and introducing American culture to Chinese fans. He also used his fame and fortune to give back to his community, founding the Yao Ming Foundation to help underprivileged children in China and around the world. Yao faced his fair share of challenges, however. His immense height made it difficult to find proper clothes and shoes. He also struggled with foot and ankle injuries throughout his career, leading to his retirement from the NBA in 2011. Yao remains one of the most iconic basketball players of all time. He was inducted into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame in 2016, and his legacy continues to inspire people around the world. His gentle nature and kind heart have made him a beloved figure both on and off the court. Number 16. One of the tallest Russians to have ever lived. Fyodor Makhnov was a man who stood head and shoulders above the rest. Quite literally, Fyodor was one of the tallest people on earth, measuring in at a whopping 7 feet 10 inches. Fyodor was born on June 18, 1878, in a small village in the then Russian Empire. By the time he was 18 years old, he had already surpassed the 7-foot mark. Fyodor's height brought him a lot of attention. In his early life, Fyodor joined the circus, where he performed as a giant. He traveled all over Europe, entertaining crowds with his immense size and strength. Fyodor's life came to an end on August 28, 1912, when he passed away at the young age of 34. His family and friends remembered him as a kind and gentle soul with a heart as big as his stature. Today, this giant remains one of the tallest people to have ever lived. Number 15. 8-foot 2-inch giant. Don Kohler stood at an incredible height of 8 feet 2 inches, making him one of the tallest men ever. Don was born on September 1, 1925. He was always taller than his peers, and by the time he was in his teens, he had already surpassed the 7-foot mark. His immense size brought him a lot of attention, and he quickly realized he could use his height to his advantage. In the 1940s, Don joined the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus, where he performed as a giant. He traveled all over the world, entertaining crowds with his incredible size and strength. He was known for his gentle nature and his willingness to interact with his fans, even taking pictures with them after performances. But life on the road was tough, and Don eventually decided to settle down in New York City. He worked various odd jobs, including as a doorman and a maintenance worker. His height continued to attract attention, and he often found himself in the spotlight. Don's immense height also brought him a lot of health problems. He suffered from arthritis, high blood pressure, and heart disease, all of which were exacerbated by his size. He passed away on February 26, 1981, at the age of 56. Number 14. From dwarf to giant. Have you ever heard of Adam Rayner? If you haven't, let me tell you about this incredible man. You see, he's the only person who has been recognized as a dwarf and a giant. That's right, Rayner was considered a dwarf in his early life. He was shorter than most of his peers, but at some point, his growth spurt led him to be one of the tallest among people on Earth. Adam was born in Austria in 1899, and from a young age it was clear that he was shorter than his peers. By the time he was 18, he had reached a height of just 4 feet 6 inches. He was classified as a dwarf, and his small stature brought him a lot of attention. But then, something remarkable happened. In his early 20s, Adam began to experience a sudden and rapid growth spurt. By the time he was 32 years old, he had grown to a height of 7 feet 8 inches. He was now classified as a giant, making him one of the tallest people on Earth. Adam's unique condition was caused by a rare medical condition called acromegaly. This condition causes the body to produce too much growth hormone, leading to abnormal growth patterns. In Adam's case, this means that he went from being one of the shortest people on Earth to one of the tallest, all in just a few years. Adam passed away in 1950 at the age of 51. Number 13. Bernard Coyne. Bernard Coyne was a man who was hard to miss. At a towering height of 8 feet 2 inches, he was one of the tallest people on Earth. Bernard was born in Ireland in 1897 and grew up in a rural farming community. From a young age, it was clear that he was taller than his peers, and by the time he was a teenager, he had already reached a height of over 7 feet. Bernard's size brought him a lot of attention, and he was often the subject of local news stories. He eventually joined a traveling circus where he performed as a giant. He traveled all over the world, entertaining crowds with his incredible size and strength. Bernard's immense height also brought him a lot of health problems. He suffered from a range of conditions, including heart problems, high blood pressure, and joint pain. He passed away in 1921 at the age of just 24. Number 12. The tallest living person on Earth. Standing at a staggering height of 8 feet 2 inches, Sultan Kösen is recognized as the tallest living person on Earth. He was born in Turkey in 1982 and grew up in a small village where his height quickly made him stand out from his peers. By the time he was 10 years old, he was already over 6 feet tall. Sultan's unusual height was caused by a condition known as pituitary gigantism. This condition causes the pituitary gland to produce too much growth hormone, leading to abnormal growth patterns. In Sultan's case, this meant that he continued to grow taller and taller throughout his teenage years and into adulthood. Sultan's incredible size has brought him a lot of attention and opportunities. He's traveled all over the world, attending events and meeting fans who are fascinated by his size. He's also worked as a farmer and has used his size to help tend to crops and animals. In addition to his height, Sultan also holds the Guinness World Record for the largest hands and feet of any living person. His hands measure over 11 inches long, while his feet are nearly 15 inches long. Number 11. One tall sailor. Angus Moore MacAskill was a man of enormous size and strength. Born on the Isle of Berneray in Scotland in 1825, he grew to become one of the tallest and strongest people in history. By the time he was a teenager, he was already over 7 feet tall, and he continued to grow throughout his life. Angus was known for his incredible feats of strength, such as lifting heavy objects and pulling boats with his bare hands. He was also an accomplished sailor, and his size and strength made him an asset on the high seas. One of Angus's most impressive feats was lifting a ship's anchor that weighed over 2,500 pounds. He accomplished this incredible feat using only his bare hands. Despite his size and strength, Angus was known for his kind nature and gentle demeanor. His community loved him, and he often used his size to help others, such as by carrying heavy loads or assisting with difficult tasks. Sadly, Angus's life was cut short when he passed away at the age of just 38. However, his legacy lives on, and he's remembered as one of the tallest and strongest people to have ever lived. Today, visitors to the Isle of Berneray can see a statue of Angus Moore MacAskill, which is a tribute to his great size and strength. Number 10. Woman who surpassed the 8-foot mark. Zhang Jinlian was an extraordinary woman who is known for her incredible height. Born in 1964 in Hunan Province, China, she grew to an impressive height of 8 feet 1.75 inches, making her one of the tallest women to have ever lived. Her height was due to a medical condition called gigantism, which causes the body to produce too much growth hormone. Despite her unusual stature, Zhang lived a relatively normal life. She worked as a farmer in her hometown and was known for her friendly and kind demeanor. Zhang's height made her a celebrity in her home country, and she often appeared on television shows and was invited to attend events. Her size also made it difficult to find clothing and shoes that fit her correctly. She often had to have custom-made items tailored to her size. Sadly, Zhang's life was cut short when she passed away in 1982 at the young age of 17. Her death was caused by complications related to her gigantism. However, her legacy lives on, and she's remembered as one of the tallest women to have ever lived. Number 9. Woman who was larger than life. Ella Ewing was a remarkable woman who lived an extraordinary life. Born in LaGrange, Missouri, Ella was an average-sized baby at birth. Signs of an abnormal height started at age 7. At age 14, she was already over 6 feet. As an adult, she was known for her towering height of 7 feet 4 inches, which was due to a medical condition called gigantism. Despite her challenges, Ella never let her height hold her back. She used her size to her advantage and became a successful performer in traveling shows, captivating audiences across the United States and Europe. Known as the Missouri Giantess, Ella had a natural stage presence and captured the hearts of everyone who saw her perform. Her act was not just a spectacle, but also an opportunity to showcase her talent and demonstrate that people with disabilities could achieve great things. Ella was not just a performer, but also a passionate advocate for people with disabilities. She used her fame to raise awareness about the challenges faced by people with disabilities and spoke out against discrimination. She was a role model for many, showing that people with disabilities can live whole and meaningful lives. Despite the attention that came with her height, Ella remained humble and kind throughout her life. She was known for her generosity and compassion, and often used her size to help others. She was always willing to lend a hand, whether it was by reaching high objects or carrying heavy loads. Ella's legacy lives on today as a symbol of resilience, determination, and compassion. An arts festival in Memphis, Missouri, near her hometown, was even named for her. Her story serves as an inspiration to people of all ages, reminding us that we can achieve anything we set our minds to. no matter what challenges we face. Ella Ewing was a woman who lived an extraordinary life. Her height may have set her apart, but it was her spirit and her determination that made her genuinely remarkable. Number 8. One tall soldier. John Rogan was a man whose life was defined by his towering height and unwavering spirit. He was a true giant among men, standing 8 feet 9 inches tall and weighing over 300 pounds. But his height was not the only thing that made him remarkable. John lived through some of the most tumultuous times in American history, including the Civil War and Reconstruction. He faced many challenges and obstacles that most people could not even imagine. Born in Tennessee in 1868, John's family was also quite tall. His father was over 7 feet tall, and his mother was over 6 feet tall. So it was not surprising that John inherited their height genes. However, as he grew older, it became clear that John was not just tall, but suffering from a rare condition called gigantism, which caused his body to continue growing uncontrollably. By the time he was in his early 20s, he had already surpassed the 8 feet mark and was still growing. Despite his enormous size, John lived a relatively normal life for a time. He worked on his family's farm and even attended school until he was 13 years old. However, as he continued to grow, he found it increasingly difficult to find work and support himself. He eventually turned to exhibiting himself in sideshows and circuses, where he was billed as the world's tallest man. Although John's height brought him fame and fortune, it also came with many challenges. He suffered from constant pain and discomfort due to his size and struggled with mobility issues. He also faced discrimination and ridicule from people who did not understand his condition or saw him as a freak. Despite these challenges, John remained a kind and gentle soul who was beloved by those who knew him. He was known for his deep voice and gentle demeanor, and he was always willing to talk to people and share his story. He eventually settled in Middleborough, Massachusetts, where he lived in a custom-built house large enough to accommodate his size. John Rogan passed away in 1905 at 37, likely due to complications from his condition. Number 7. The giant Maximinus Thrax. Gaius Julius Verus Maximinus Augustus, better known as Maximus Thrax, was one of the tallest people to have ever lived. He was a Roman emperor who ruled from 235 to 238 AD, and he stood at an impressive 8 feet 6 inches. His height was not only an advantage in battle, but also a symbol of his power and dominance over the Roman Empire. Maximinus was born in Thrace, which is now modern-day Bulgaria, in 173 AD. He came from humble origins and was a Thracian peasant before joining the Roman army. He quickly rose through the ranks due to his impressive size and strength, eventually becoming a commander of the Legio IV Italica. In 235 AD, the Roman emperor was in a state of chaos, with multiple contenders vying for the title of emperor. Maximinus seized the opportunity to claim the throne and led his army toward Rome. Despite facing fierce resistance from the Roman Senate and other factions, Maximinus secured his position as emperor and was crowned in 236 AD. Maximinus' reign was marked by his military campaigns and efforts to strengthen the Roman army. He was known for his strict discipline and his focus on improving the lives of soldiers, which earned him the loyalty and respect of many in the army. However, his policies were less popular with the Roman citizens, who saw him as a foreigner and an outsider. Maximinus' height was also a topic of fascination during his reign. He was often depicted in artwork as a towering figure, and his size was seen as a symbol of his strength and dominance over the empire. He was also known for his impressive physical strength, which he demonstrated in battles and other public events. Despite his many accomplishments, Maximinus' reign was short-lived. He faced multiple revolts and rebellions, including one led by his soldiers. In 238 AD, he was assassinated by members of the Praetorian Guard, and his reign came to an abrupt end. Number 6. Shaq. Shaquille O'Neal, often referred to as Shaq, is one of the most recognizable and dominant figures in basketball history. At 7 feet 1 inches and over 300 pounds, he's not only one of the tallest people on earth, but also one of the most physically imposing athletes to ever play the game. Can you imagine playing ball against a person several inches taller than you? Born in Newark, New Jersey in 1972, O'Neal grew up in a military family and frequently moved during childhood. He attended high school in Texas, where he quickly became one of the top basketball prospects in the country. After a successful college career at Louisiana State University, he was selected as the first overall pick in the 1992 NBA draft by the Orlando Magic. O'Neal's impact on the NBA was immediate. In his rookie season, he led the Magic to a playoff berth and was named the NBA Rookie of the Year. Throughout his career, he would go on to win 4 NBA championships, 3 NBA Finals MVP awards, and 1 regular season MVP award. While O'Neal was known for his dominant play on the court, he was also a larger-than-life personality off the court. He dabbled in acting, music, and even law enforcement during his playing days. He was a spokesman for several major brands, including Pepsi, Reebok, and Icy Hot, and he appeared in numerous commercials and TV shows. O'Neal's career wasn't a smooth one. He struggled with injuries throughout his career, and sometimes contentious relationships with teammates and coaches led to some high-profile conflicts. Nevertheless, his ability to dominate games and his affable personality made him one of the most beloved and respected players in the history of the NBA. Even after retiring from basketball in 2011, O'Neal has remained a prominent figure in popular culture. He's worked as an analyst on TNT's NBA coverage, authored several books, and is a frequent guest on talk shows and podcasts. He's also become involved in philanthropy, using his platform to support numerous charitable causes, including the Boys and Girls Club of America and the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Number 5. World's Tallest Woman. Sandy Allen was known as the world's tallest woman until her passing in 2008. Born on June 18, 1955 in Chicago, Illinois, Allen's height was due to a medical condition called gigantism. She stood at an astounding 7 feet 7 inches tall, making her the tallest woman in the world at the time. Allen's life was difficult, as she faced many challenges due to her height. She was unable to fit into cars or planes, making travel difficult. Additionally, she required custom-made clothes and shoes, which were often expensive and hard to come by. However, despite these challenges, Allen maintained a positive outlook on life and was a role model for many. In 1979, Allen was officially recognized by Guinness World Records as the world's tallest woman. She held the title until her passing in 2008 at the age of 53. During her lifetime, she received many offers for public appearances and interviews, but she always remained humble and down to earth. She even used her height for good, volunteering as a spokesperson for the National Skeletal Dysplasia Foundation to raise awareness and support for individuals with similar conditions. Throughout her life, Allen maintained a close relationship with her family and friends, who supported her through the challenges she faced. Her mother, for example, helped her sew custom-made clothes and was a source of comfort and encouragement. Allen was known for her kindness and generosity, often offering to help others despite her own challenges. Number 4. One of the tallest women. Rumeysa Gelgui was one of the tallest women in the world, measuring at a remarkable height of 7 feet 9 inches. She was born on January 1, 1997 in the Karabakh province of Turkey. Her height was due to a medical condition known as Weaver syndrome, which causes excessive growth and developmental delays. Despite the challenges that came with her condition, Gelgui had a positive outlook on life and always had a smile on her face. She had a strong will and a passion for life that was evident to those who met her. Gelgui was known for her kindness and compassion towards others, especially those who faced similar challenges to hers. Gelgui's family struggled to provide her with the care she needed due to her condition, and her height made it difficult for her to move around and perform daily tasks. However, Gelgui remained determined and never let her challenges hold her back. She was passionate about her education and continued to study despite her condition, hoping to one day become an advocate for people born with Weaver syndrome. Weaver syndrome affects men 3 times more than women. So, since women with the disorder are so scarce, Gelgui felt it was her obligation as the only woman in Turkey with the disease to shine a light on the subject and make women with the condition feel more comfortable and confident. Today, she's a front-end developer, an advocate, and a researcher, even earning a professional certificate from Harvard University. In 2022, Rumeysa ticked off one of the things on her bucket list. She boarded a plane bound for San Francisco, California. It was a real struggle, though, as the staff had to remove 6 rows of chairs just for Rumeysa to fly comfortably. Number 3. One of the tallest people in Canada. Edward Beaupré was a Canadian man who gained international attention for his towering height. He was born in 1881 in Willowbunch, Saskatchewan, Canada, and grew up on a farm with his family. By the time he was a teenager, it was clear that he was not an average-sized individual, standing at a remarkable height of 6 feet 2 inches. As he continued to grow, Beaupré's stature continued to increase, ultimately reaching 8 feet 3 inches by the time he was an adult. Beaupré's immense height brought him both admiration and challenges throughout his life. On the one hand, he was seen as a spectacle and often exhibited in various shows and circuses as a curiosity. On the other hand, his height made it difficult for him to find employment and complete everyday tasks. Despite these difficulties, Beaupré remained positive and had a strong will to live his life to the fullest. In 1904, Beaupre was discovered by a traveling circus, which offered him a job as an exhibit, a real-life exhibit. He was seen as an oddity in the quote-unquote freak show, but it made good money. He performed all over the world, including in Europe, Asia, and the United States, and became known as the Willow Bunch Giant. During his time with the circus, Beaupre was able to earn a living and support his family. He was also able to meet other people of unusual heights and form connections with them. Beaupre's life was not without its challenges. His health was constantly at risk due to the strain his height put on his body. He suffered from many health problems throughout his life, including heart disease and tuberculosis. Sadly, Beaupre's life was cut short at the age of 23 when he passed away from tuberculosis-related complications. Despite his short life, his legacy as one of the tallest people to have ever lived continues to inspire many. He was a symbol of resilience and strength, and his positive attitude toward life was a testament to his determination to overcome the challenges he faced. Number 2. One of the tallest people in India. Dharmendra Pratap Singh is one of the tallest people on earth, standing at an impressive height of 8 feet 1 inch. He was born in 1975 in a small village in Uttar Pradesh, India. From a young age, Singh's height was noticeable, and by the time he was a teenager, he was already over 6 feet tall. Singh's height has brought him both attention and challenges throughout his life. Despite facing discrimination and bullying in his youth, Singh never let his height hold him back. Instead, he used it as an advantage, excelling in sports like basketball and volleyball. In 2018, Singh was officially recognized as the tallest living person in India after the death of Vikas Uppal. However, despite his record-breaking height, Singh remains humble and down-to-earth, often using his platform to raise awareness for social issues and promote education in his community. In recent years, Singh has also undergone surgeries to correct issues caused by his height, including a spine surgery in 2019. Despite the risks involved, Singh remains optimistic and continues to inspire others with his resilience and positive attitude. And now, it's time for today's topic. The photo shows a woman standing at the beach, and it's hard not to notice just how tall she is. It's incredible how some people can grow up to 8 feet tall. But why exactly do some of us grow up to be literal giants? One of the primary causes of such extreme height is a medical condition called gigantism. Gigantism is caused by the overproduction of growth hormones in the pituitary gland during childhood, which causes excessive growth. This condition is very rare and affects only a small percentage of people. Genetics can also play a role in determining a person's height. If someone's parents are tall, there's a higher chance that their children will also be tall. Who is the tallest person you know? Maybe you know a real-life giant too. As always, comment down below with the hashtag today's topic and let us know your opinion about what we've just showed on screen. With that said, let's keep things moving. Number 1. One of the tallest athletes alive. Morteza Mirzad Selagjani is a remarkable individual who has captured the attention of many worldwide. At a towering height of 8 feet 1 inch, Morteza is one of the tallest athletes in history and has become a symbol of inspiration and hope for many. Born on September 17, 1987 in Aradan, Iran, Morteza was diagnosed with acromegaly, a rare medical condition that causes excessive production of growth hormones at a young age. Can you imagine being over 6 feet at the young age of 16? This condition led to his remarkable height and also brought with it a number of health issues, such as joint pain and difficulty moving around. However, Morteza never let his condition hold him back. Morteza first gained fame as a member of the Iranian sitting volleyball team. Sitting volleyball is a modified version played by athletes with disabilities, and Morteza's towering height made him an asset to the team. He quickly rose to prominence, becoming a key player on the team and leading them to numerous victories. I hope you enjoyed learning about these incredible individuals and their remarkable stories. If you have any other interesting facts or stories about the tallest people on Earth, feel free to share them in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more fascinating content. Also, check out our other cool stuff showing up on the screen right now, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, everybody.